You can never predict what kind of tough decisions are going to come in front of a president's desk. And if you really want to know how a person will operate, look at how they've lived their life.
They were asking me about what's going on with, with what happened with the scandal and what my opinion is of if we can pull this thing off. And I said, yeah, it's gonna be just fine. And they said, how do you know? And I said, because I just met Mitt Romney. He was not a figurehead. He was not only running this show, but he was out there speaking to the people and showing them through his words, through his actions, what the Olympics could mean to the United States.
When I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, both of us just dissolved in tears.
Probably the toughest time of my life was standing there with Ann as we hugged each other and the diagnosis came.
I was very, very ill. I was frightened, Mitt was frightened, but I needed him desperately.
Look, I'm happy in life as long as I've got my soulmate with me.
Mitt decided that he was going to honor heroes throughout the country and that the torch relay was going to be all about heroes. And Mitt chose me as his hero.
She's gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. You know, I can't explain love. I don't know why it happens. I don't know why it endures the way it does. You know, at the very beginning, I sat with her, chatted with her, put my arm around her, and, you know, something changed.
1968, he flew into the Detroit airport right before Christmas. Of course, his mother is like got her arms open and he runs right by her and grabs me.
On the car ride home from the airport, I turned to Ann and said, I feel like I've never been away. And she said, I feel the same way.
So by the time we got home, we got out of the car and we tell everybody, well, we're getting married like next week. We compromised and waited until March 21st.
You sweet baby.
I could do okay when I hit the 2.
My brother and I, Matt, fought a lot.
3, not bad. 4, it got to be a little much.
Hello, Ben!
Oh my gosh, very rambunctious.
I do not want to put the water on the mud. So here I am, telling everybody what to do.
And then with the 5th one, and Craig was my most active child. He was a handful.
Craigie! Hi! Oh, Craig, don't squirt me!
Mitt would walk in the door after work, leave the briefcase at the door. And that was it. He never thought about work again until he left in the morning.
We just felt like we were the most important thing in his life.
I went to Mom if I ever needed money, because he never went to Dad. He was way too cheap. My dad didn't have the right bulb, so he replaced it just with whatever bulb he had. The problem is it sticks out way too far and blinds you as you cook, so he just solved that with some tin foil and duct tape.
I've been poor. I've worked from the time I was 12. I know what poverty is. I've been up through it.
I grew up watching my dad lead.
Look, I'm in public life today because I'm concerned about America. I'm concerned about what's happening to America.
I didn't realize he was giving me an experience that was more helpful from a leadership standpoint than anything I learned in school.
Staples, I think, is a good example of where Bain & Company can support the management of an excellent company.
What was special about Mitt is he understood what was behind the numbers. What's behind the numbers was great people.
Mitt Romney valued every employee. He made it a point to let us know that every employee was critical to the success of Staples.
Why would anybody want to save on envelopes and file folders? Mitt is a cheap son of a gun. And if he could save 50 cents on paper clips, he'd drive a mile to do it. Wicked smart.
When I became governor of Massachusetts, I took the skills I'd learned in business and went to look at our state budget. We were about $3 billion out of balance.
I'll never forget the first cabinet meeting. The governor asked one of his assistants to bring out a list of campaign promises. Now, there were something like 44 campaign promises. The governor said, by the end of this administration, we're going to go right down this checklist and keep each and every promise that was made. And I said, he's different. Mitt Romney is in this race, I believe, not just for himself. He's in it to improve the lives of the American people.
Uniquely qualified to get our economy moving again.
Charismatic.
He is rock solid.
An authentic leader.
His values are so strong.
He cares about the lives of those with voices that are unheard.
I think he has a great deal of pride and love for this country.
He knows he's one of the only guys that can do what it's going to take to turn this country around.
I will devote every waking hour of my energy to getting America strong again. That's what an American president has to do.